I'm working so hard.
She can't even act like herself.
Hey guys, you don't gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
Joe Rogan destroys Meghan Markle for her fake royal status on his podcast. And honestly, she needed it.
She suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human.
Nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that.
Meghan has spent years curating a life built on half-truths and emotional sob stories that don't quite land anymore because, let's face it, the world sees right through her. Rogan just said what everyone's been thinking. This takedown is the reality check Meghan didn't ask for but absolutely deserves.
Hey guys, you don't gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
That's why a lot of these celebrities that start these things, they can't keep up.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back, because why would he? He kicked things off by ripping into celebrities who just can't seem to keep their masks on.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, the ones who try so hard to appear relatable and genuine but end up being anything but. And guess who topped that list for Rogan? None other than Meghan Markle.
You just can't keep faking it.
He labeled her a masterclass in fakeness. According to Rogan, it's not just about her public persona. He hinted at knowing her before her royal fairy tale, and you can't imagine what he had to say.
Knew her a bit before she met Harry. She was nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that. This is all fake.
Yes, he suggested a dramatic personality shift once she snagged Prince Harry. From what Rogan says, pre-royalty Meghan was an entirely different character. And by different, we're talking about someone who apparently didn't need to practice fake tears or overly dramatic facial expressions.
It's too hard.
There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
Speaking of tears, Rogan didn't mince words there either. He took aim at what he called the actor's trick, faking emotional breakdowns to sell a story. And you bet Meghan got called out for it. He dissected her public performances like a critic reviewing a bad soap opera.
When you were saying, like, do you want to just do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great.
According to Rogan, it's all in the timing. Too convenient, too polished, and too perfect for the cameras. He wasn't buying it, and he made sure his audience wasn't either.
Crazy.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time?
Now, let's really get into the juice. The yacht girl allegations. This is where the plot thickens.
There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s.
Rogan dragged Meghan's alleged involvement in some very exclusive yacht parties into the spotlight. You know, Epstein, Prince Andrew, and their equally controversial circle attend these parties.
Most of Meghan Markle's yacht girl pics have been scrubbed.
Rogan claimed there's been an internet scrub of certain photos from her younger days. Photos that would tell quite the story.
There was a sex tape about her.
And I saw it. And in the tape, she's performing a sex act on him that's...
And there's even talk of a sex tape. What makes it even spicier is the contrast between those alleged escapades and her eventual royal ambitions. Rogan framed it as a calculated leap, a jump from the deck of a yacht to the halls of Buckingham Palace.
She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled. She became a, quote, princess.
He painted Meghan as someone who knew exactly how to climb the social ladder, one carefully curated step at a time. And according to him, those yacht girl days were just one of many steps in her playbook.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness.
But the cherry on top is her royal title drama. This is where Meghan's so-called obsession with status came under fire. Despite having her Royal Highness title officially revoked, she still used it, signing cards and gifts as if nothing had changed.
This woman looks to me like a malignant narcissist. This woman has zero self-awareness.
Rogan roasted her for it, calling it a desperate move to cling to a title she no longer legally holds. And it's not just Rogan. Public polls show that an overwhelming majority, 97% of Brits, want Harry and Meghan to lose all royal titles permanently.
Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
I have a letter.
He's also a fox. If you haven't noticed, my husband's very, very handsome.
Rogan didn't miss a beat on that one. He called out the audacity of trying to play princess in public while allegedly breaking the royal rulebook behind the scenes.
That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us. She's using it in private with her friends. That's even weirder than if they were still trying to milk the titles in public.
According to Rogan, Meghan wants the perks, but also wants the fairy tale, even if it's crumbling around her. And while she's at it, she's reportedly seething over losing her official status.
Because that's really what you want when you're 18. 40,000 emails, Maureen, from your mother.
These emails are so that when my children are of age, they can come to me and say, oh my God, you loved us so much. It's me, me, me.
Rogan described her as someone who's not just fixated, but downright obsessed with the idea of being seen as royalty, regardless of reality.
We're at Soho House, Toronto, which is basically TIG headquarters for me. I write my stories here, I take my meetings here.
So, let's talk about Meghan Markle's rise. Because according to some acquaintances, this wasn't just a fairy tale love story. It was more like a carefully scripted rom-com where she played both the director and the lead.
A lot of people, Meghan Markle was also in the Soho House. They said that she was a girl that was hired to walk VIPs and fill out the red carpets and stuff like that.
Rumor has it Meghan had a vision board back in the day, and guess whose face was front and center? Yep, Prince Harry. Not just some abstract dream man, but specifically Harry.
They start their way up. They latch on to the first rich guy or famous guy they get that they meet at the Playboy Mansion. This is their exit strategy. I'm going to marry this man, and he's going to take care of me the rest.
You've got to admire the precision. Most people dream vaguely of a better life, but Meghan apparently aimed straight for the throne. Ambitious? Sure. Subtle? Not so much.
Meghan did claim that before dating Harry, she never Googled him, and she said she didn't know much about the royal family.
Now, here's where it gets juicy. Meghan has repeatedly claimed she knew nothing about Harry or the royal family before they met. Nada. Zip. But wait, rewind. Her old blog, The Tig, paints a slightly different picture.
It seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
Back in her pre-Duchess days, she wrote about Kate Middleton and the pomp of royal weddings, with what can only be described as gleeful fascination.
I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
And then there are her friends. Well, former friends, who've let it slip that Meghan was always intrigued by royal culture. So, which is it? Wide-eyed innocent who stumbled into a royal romance, or someone with a 5-year plan that involved tiaras and corgis? The contradictions are deliciously blatant.
That is just like all the confirmation that I need that this woman is just obsessed with being a royal, that is all this was all about. That she's angry that she screwed the pooch by claiming racism and basically getting kicked out of the family. She just can't give up the HRH titles that quickly. Like, this is literally what she has always wanted.
And let's not forget her knack for aligning her narrative. Meghan didn't just stumble upon royal life. She seems to have curated her way there. Old posts, conveniently deleted, and accounts from former acquaintances paint a picture of someone who knew how to shape her story. It's like watching someone redecorate their online presence to fit a new aesthetic. Only in this case, the aesthetic is Buckingham Palace. You've got to hand it to her. It takes skill to rebrand yourself as effortlessly as Meghan has. But then came the cracks in the armor. Or should we say, the crocodile tears. Remember her podcast episode where Meghan dabbed at her eyes, claiming to be moved? The internet certainly remembers, mostly because there were no tears.
Yes, yes,
Did you hear how high her voice was when she said yes?
yes.
When we're stressed, our larynx closes up a little bit and our voice tone gets a little bit higher. That's why the pitch of the S is so high.
Body language expert Scott Rouse weighed in, and let's just say his analysis didn't help her case. He pointed out gestures that screamed deception, like overly deliberate hand movements and exaggerated facial expressions. According to him, Meghan's performance was less grieving Duchess and more high school drama club.
You know, I mean, she used to be on
Was
Deal or
he
No
infiltrated?
Deal.
And now,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't.
Look, she was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with the briefcases.
She didn't like being objectified on Deal. And did you think it was an executive position, ma'am?
So, there you have it. From vision boards featuring Harry to botched bath salts, Meghan's story is anything but boring. It's a mix of ambition, drama, and PR disasters that keeps people talking, for better or worse. And honestly, isn't that the goal? Because in today's world, staying relevant is the ultimate royal title. Let's dive into Harry's role in this royal soap opera, because it's a doozy. Somewhere along the way, Prince Harry went from beloved royal to, as some might say, a treacherous little weasel. And honestly, the transformation is so dramatic it deserves its own Netflix series. His latest claim to fame is blaming the monarchy and his family for his personal security issues. Yes, because when in doubt, pin your problems on the institution that literally gave you everything, including your last name.
Think he's dug so deep now he'll strike water any day now.
But here's the kicker. While Harry cries foul, he's still happily cashing in on his royal privileges. Private jets, lavish estates, and Netflix deals worth millions. But the public isn't buying it. The irony of railing against the monarchy while sipping tea in a Montecito mansion isn't lost on anyone. Except maybe Harry and Meghan.
Now, the king can end this feud, but not by shaking hands with this treacherous little weasel, but by stripping him and his wife of the royal titles that they love to use for commercial gain without doing any of the work.
Even his own family seems done with his antics. Reports suggest Prince William is this close to cutting him off entirely. And who could blame him? Harry's behavior has gone from rebellious younger brother to that one relative who always brings drama to the family reunion. His actions have turned what was once a private family feud into a full-blown national spectacle. The monarchy has always been a stiff upper lip institution, but Harry's out here spilling tea like it's his job. Wait, it kind of is now.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
And let's not forget the real-world consequences. Every time Harry opens his mouth, he seems to widen the chasm between himself and the monarchy. The once popular prince is now seen as the guy who turned his family's dirty laundry into primetime entertainment. It's like watching someone burn bridges while simultaneously trying to build a brand on the ashes.
Nobody talks like that, and nobody acts like that, because that's weird behavior that we're seeing from both of these people if we're supposed to be thinking under the impression that they're being authentic.
But it's not just Harry feeling the heat. Meghan and Harry as a duo are facing a public verdict that's anything but favorable. A whopping 2/3 of Brits think they should lose their titles entirely. The reasons? Hypocrisy, betrayal, and an almost comical reliance on monetizing their royal connections. Because if there's one thing the public hates more than privilege, it's privilege pretending to be oppressed while signing multi-million-dollar book deals. Social media has been relentless. Every time Harry and Meghan try to rebrand themselves, the backlash is swift and brutal. Their attempts to carve out a niche as misunderstood rebels keep falling flat. Meghan's podcast? A flop. Their ventures? Mediocre at best. It seems the couple's popularity is plummeting faster than Meghan's bath salts in hot water. So, what's the final judgment? Hit like and subscribe to the channel to know more about Royal Facade.